Hare Krishna. Till now, we have understood that the knowledgeable and learned persons should never disrupt the ignorant persons from doing their prescribed duties. Instead, they should inspire the ignorant persons by their own example how to lead a Krishna conscious life. Today we are going to study the verse number 27, where we will come to know who is the real doer of everything. So let's first recite the verse. Prakritaiha kriyamāṇāni guṇais karmāణi sarvashah ahankara vimūಢātmā karta ahamiti manyate. Prakritaiha kriyamāṇāni guṇe karmāణi sarvashah ahankara vimūಢātmā karta ahamiti manyate. Word meanings: karta, doer; aham, I; iti, thus; manyate, thinks. Translation: Krishna says, the bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of the three modes of material nature, thinks himself to be the doer of activities, which are in actuality carried out by the nature. Krishna says that all the activities are carried out by the three modes of material nature, but the bewildered spirit soul thinks himself to be the doer of all the activities. It is due to his false ego. Now let us understand the shloka by the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnavon ki jai. Srila Prabhupada says that if a Krishna conscious person and a material conscious person does a thing, outwardly it might appear to be on the same level, but there is a wide gulf of difference in their respective positions. The person in material consciousness is fully convinced that he is the doer of everything, whereas a Krishna conscious person never thinks that he is the doer of anything. The person in material consciousness does not know that his gross body and his subtle body is a gift of nature which works under the supervision of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is Krishna. Our gross body is the body that can be seen, and it is a combination of the 5 elements of the material nature, and the subtle body is mind, intelligence and ego, which cannot be seen, and it is created by the 3 modes of material nature. The 3 modes of material nature are the mode of goodness, mode of passion and mode of ignorance, which we popularly know as Satogun, Rajogun and Tamogun. These 3 modes of nature create the mind, intelligence and ego, and combined with the gross body, we do all the work in this material world. But the person who does not have this knowledge claims that he does all his work and loves to take the credit of all his work. Prakritaiha kriyamāṇāni guṇe karmāణi sarvashah. Here in this verse, Krishna says that all the work is done by the 3 modes of the material nature. Ahankar vimūఢātmā karta aham iti manyate. But the ignorant person who is bewildered by false ego thinks himself to be the doer of everything. Srila Prabhupada explains how does a person become bewildered by the false ego, and as a result of it, he becomes an ignorant person. Prabhupada says that life after life, we have been using our gross and subtle body for sense enjoyment, which means to enjoy all the material things, and it is a wrong use of our gross and subtle body. Our gross and subtle body is a creation of material nature, which works under the supervision of Krishna. And the proper use of the gross and subtle body is to be engaged in the service of Krishna. And when the gross and subtle body has been misused in the material enjoyments, the person becomes completely deluded and ignorant. And such ignorant people fail to understand that he is ultimately under the control of Krishna. In this picture, we can clearly see how we are controlled by the three modes of the material nature, and the three modes are working under the supervision of Krishna. Now let's understand what these three modes are and how we get controlled by them. According to our past life karma, it is determined that in which mode we are going to be in this life. And our karma is according to our company. If we keep the company of people who are always into studying, then gradually we also develop the interest in studying. Similarly, when we move in the company of people who love to travel a lot or enjoy life by accumulating worldly things, then in due course of time, we also become like them. And if we keep the company of lazy people, then we also become lazy. Now, when a person is engaged in acquiring academic qualifications, leading a regulated life, he is known to be in the mode of goodness. When a person is engaged in working very hard to earn money and then wishes to enjoy all the material things, then he is in the mode of passion. And an utterly lazy person who only indulges in sleeping and in no activity is to be understood in the mode of ignorance. Now, if we think deeply, then we will find that all of us get caught in these three modes sometime or the other. And then we do things in our life according to the mode. So where are we doing anything independently? The body and the subtle body both are created by the material nature with which we are doing our work, which means that we are completely under the control. Understand this is called an ignorant person with false ego who claims to do everything and takes the credit of all his achievements. Srila Prabhupada says that an ignorant person has no knowledge that the Supreme Personality is Rishikesh, which means the master of all the senses of the 84 lakhs of species. In 84 lakhs of species, 80 lakhs of species are only meant for sense gratification, that is, eating, sleeping, producing children, and defending themselves. And only 4 lakhs of human species is for God realization, or we can say spiritual progress. But if human beings also engage in activities like the remaining 80 lakhs of species, then they forget their eternal relationship with Krishna because of the long misuse of their senses due to false ego. I feel so encouraged and confident that none of us are going to be ignorant anymore after properly understanding that who is the real doer of everything. And henceforth, we are surely going to engage our gross and subtle body only and only in the service of Krishna and not for our sense enjoyment. I thank all of you for watching the video so attentively, and I thank Srila Prabhupada from the core of my heart for explaining to us the most secretive knowledge of Bhagwat Gita. Now at the end of the video, let us answer these questions to feel confident that we have understood the shloka very nicely. Question number 1. What is our gross and subtle body? How is it created? And what is the difference in both? Question number 2. Are we independently doing any work? Question number 3. Whom does Krishna call an ignorant person or a Vimhur Atma? In this verse, we have understood what are the symptoms of an ignorant person. Now, in the next verse, we will understand the symptoms of a knowledgeable person. Please be connected with me to understand the Bhagavad Gita and to make our rare human life a successful one. Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,